Diamond Cut.
What's up, everybody? 6 Degrees with the Poet Abyss. What's going on, brother?
What up, Doe?
Not much, man. We go back probably to 98. I say
98.
1998. I was doing a erotic poetry event in Lithonia, Georgia, that a poet named Blaze out of West Virginia invited me to, and Johannes Sharif from Decatur invited me to, and I spit, a few poems, and then afterwards you came up to me, showed me love, man. I appreciate that, And
I remember that.
I think I saw you at another event. I mean, we were just out at like Club Vision or something, and you give me love for that event. I was like, well, I appreciate it, man. And then I met you, and then you like, what do you do? I was like, yeah, I work at the Cartoon Network. You like, oh, Gina Barbosa? And then I was like, yeah, like that's my girl. So what, how you know Gina Barbosa?
I know Gina Barbosa through a mutual friend, Tanzia Franks, Walter Franks, Little Boy King. We look like twins. You know what I'm saying? They like my brother from another mother, literally. When I was in grade school, they used to call me the Little Boy King. I actually went to the military, and I was stationed with his cousin. I get out the military, I come to Atlanta, and I start working with his sister. And so, like I said, over the years, I became, custom in the family and everything. So then I met Gina. Gina put me in my first commercial. I was at the Score from Deep sweepstakes with the Armageddon show with, oh my God, I can't think of the dude, Dreyfuss.
Okay.
I think Richard Dreyfuss was in the movie or something.
Oh, dope.
She was pretty cool, man.
So
Good
Derek,
people, though.
Can I call you Derek, or we'll call you Abyss the whole time?
If you're trying to get taxes out of me.
Oh, all right.
Only
You know what? We
we
the poetry Avengers, so I'm not gonna give up your secret identity. You're like Spider-Man of the poets. I'm not gonna tell people that you're Peter Parker. So Abyss, you come from Detroit, Michigan, huh?
East Side.
313 F the free world.
You know what it is.
That's dope. So Gina Barbosa is crazy. So my cousin Cassandra Washington used to be an assistant for Lisa Left Eye Lopez, rest in peace. And before I moved here, she was going to take a job as a production assistant for Space Ghost Coast to Coast. She turned it down because she took the job with Lisa. So she put it in my lap, and then that's why I was here. That's when I worked at Cartoon Network. So I was one of the first Black men at Adult Swim, before it was Adult Swim. And so that's how I know Gina. And then when Gina came into the picture, she was like, oh, Cassandra, like, yeah, that's my cousin. And Cassandra used to work at Dangerous Music with Too Short, and that was the label they had About Face. Tanzia's group, Tanzia Franks.
About Face.
Yeah, Wendy Rice, Joy.
Yep, remember Wendy?
Right. Matter of fact, bless you. Joy roomed with my cousin. They used to room together. So small world. Walter Franks, Young Man King, your twin, my cousin Homer McEwen III actually auditioned for the role of Young Man King, but he was too light for the role. And that shattered his whole. He was acting when we were kids, and that just like shattered his whole, acting, his whole persona of the world. He was mad at the world after that. He was light-skinned Tupac after that, right? So we knew Tanzia through our cousin, but we never. You didn't know that Tanzia's brother was Walter Franks, who was on the Jamie Foxx show and who was Young Man King. I'm like, he took the role from you. So it's like, wow. He didn't remember that. I'm like, dude, that was traumatic for you as a child. And you were too light to play Dr. King. That's
his aura was thrown out.
Aura was thrown out. Dr. King, very influential, you know, to Atlanta, period. My grandfather, Augustus Jordan Sr., used to cut Dr. King's hair off Auburn
Oh, wow.
Avenue before the Civil Rights Movement. And Dr. King invited him out to come check him preaching. He never came. Then shortly after that, the whole bus boycott thing jumped off. And my granddaddy was like, damn, I should have came to see that young man preach. Right?
Mm.
So, yeah, interesting. So,
Crazy.
I never actually heard you say poetry until I was in a show later on with you, Johanna Sharif, and Tamika Harper, Georgia Me, aka Georgia Me.
Yeah.
How would you describe your style?
I'm more so like a hybrid. I'm like a Pharaoh Monch because I can sing, spit, write, hip hop, you know, and just really like the Mos Def feel, more rhythmic. You know what I'm saying? I'm more rhythmic poet.
How long have you been playing the guitar?
About 7, it's been about 10 years, about 10, 12 years now. And I'm self-taught.
Dope. Bruh, I didn't even know it was in your repertoire until we did no, I know what it was. You did the hip hop celebration of the hip hop foundation in November with
Zulu
brother
Nation, 40th.
Zulu
40
Nation,
years,
right?
Yeah.
And you had one of your sons, Huey,
Well,
your
yeah,
hype
dope.
man, right?
Yeah.
Who is now he's the front man, but he tried to play shy and then he took over the show. That's hilarious. Right. And you brought the guitar out and you sang. You did a cover of "I'd Rather Be With You" by Bootsy Collins, which is
right.
One of my favorite songs.
I call it acid gospel, but I used the hook in there. So, you know, I done got a chance to actually perform that in front of Bootsy. So that was
dope.
a cool thing, man. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Oh, that's dope.
You know, that could have been, but he approved it. So, you know, I've been performing it ever
Stamp
since.
of approval.
So I make sure, you know, that Virgo show up.
Nice. I didn't even realize you were on Def Poetry Jam until I was at my mom's house in Tampa, and we were at one of her associates' house, and she had the whole series, and you were on there, and we were sitting there watching it, and the lady was like, this lady, she wasn't like a friend of my mom, but she was really getting on my nerves. She was getting on my little 3-year-old sons. She was getting on everybody's nerves in the room, and you came on, and we were like into it. And the lady was trying to make it seem like she really know what it was. I'm like, that's my man from Atlanta, by way of Detroit, you know. So give you mad props. Where'd you meet the poet Life from Tampa?
I met Life in Tampa. Actually, they used to work with Black on Black Rhyme. Me and Cocktails had this joint called the Live Poet Society.
You know Wally D?
Like the two that started off, you know, it was kind of like the Watch Properties and the Last Poets and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We were Crips and Bloods of the poetry community. We was more like, you know, it was a little more camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Keith and all the boys. Will the Real One, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Influential than what's called it. Hold on.
So I know about Life through my mom. My mom was a poet. My mom's name is Phyllis McEwen. I want to give my mom a shout out right now. She's in the hospital battling with a few things. But my mother has opened for the Last Poets, and I know about Life through my mom. You know what I mean?
Word.
So give my mom a shout out right now. She's having a serious operation on tomorrow.
Hold tight. Hold that strength, man. Most High got you.
And so you mentioned Bootsy Collins, man. My grandfather cut James Brown hair because, you know, James Brown was out of Augusta. And I know you have some ties with James Brown as well, right? You were telling me you did.
Yeah, I went to Augusta. I done performed with a couple of his, one of his children down in Miami, who doesn't really like to claim him as his dad, but I'm looking at him like, man, he looked like a young James Brown. And, you know, I said it to the promoter. She was like, well, don't say that to him because, you know, he wouldn't like it.
Right.
And I was like, man, if James Brown was my daddy, boy, I might perm my head. No, I'm playing. The hot tub.
So I've been working for Jericho Broadcast Networks for like 7 years now, and I met your friend Tommy Bottoms when I started working with the network. He would do sports with Roy, my producer, that's unseen right now, that's monitoring this session. I didn't even realize Tommy was a poet until later on. Social media was big. He sent his flick and everything. I knew brother could do sports, but I didn't even know he was a poet and a stand-up comedian and an actor. Tell me about that play you guys did. Is it Educated Thug, something like that?
Educated Gangster.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a play. You know, like I said, he's a playwright. You know, we all run the Still Sharp and Still, man. So I run with a crew of extraordinary gentlemen and women. And it's just been a blessing to be amongst them. And basically, you know, it's kind of like Tommy, like we the Wu-Tang of the poetry. Tommy is like our economics advisor. So he gonna chop up that CNN and throw some hip hop on it. And then you're gonna see how it sound melanated when you amplify it. You feel me? So that's what we all do. We had like technicians. So if you had to ask, my superpower had to be through music and tone, poetry, and expression.
Right. I'm a mutant, in case you knew. In case you didn't know, I'm a mutant. My mutant power is I connect people. I had a power of connecting people. Tamika Harper, aka Georgia Me, was in my Aunt Elaine's biology class at Booker T. Washington High. Or as they say,
I'm two doors down from Georgia, and I'm right up the street from Booker T.
That's what's up.
That's for 6 degrees.
Right. A friend of mine. Okay, so yeah, David Tavares, aka Server, the ace dog of 85, Upsilon Chapter Omega Psi Phi. We were starting a show called Fat TV with my friend Trevor Brown, who's from London, England. He helped me start my show on the set back at FAMU back in '93. So we wanted a female host. So the finalist, we never went along with the show, but the finalist, female host, was Tamika Georgia Me Harper.
And she told me about that too.
Got mad love for Tamika. And then I found out later that my aunt taught her, you know. And small world, man.
Small world, man.
So you stated that Joe Torre inspired you, the comedian Joe Torre?
Yeah, Joe, when I got here to Atlanta, I think I can give you a metaphor, a parable. It was kind of like if I went to Chicago and got a chance to walk on the Bulls, 92 Bulls, and get some run. Not prime time, but you know, I'm on with the puffy credits. The show's still coming on. Biz, who was that? We don't know. But the thing about it is, I was with the greats, soaking up a whole lot of game that I actually definitely reciprocate to the game as well. So, you know, shout out to Bo P. Bo P was equivalent to Digital Underground, and I was his Tupac. So I was his roadie. You know what I'm saying? He need a Hennessy or something, bam. I'm right there, you know, what else you need? Anybody else need anything? And you know, I give or take that servitude for the game that was poured upon me. So, you know, they watered the plant.
You know, it's interesting that you use the parable or the comparison Chicago Bulls, because Joe Torre's name in Poetic Justice was Chicago. He was Lucky's best friend or good friend. They worked in the post office together. And Janet Jackson and Regina King, two of the finest women to walk the planet, were the two love interests in the movie. Joe Torre is an interesting brother, man. My frat brother of Omega Psi Phi. I met Joe Torre at the Florida Invitational Step Show. I wasn't Omega at the time. I was road tripping with my Sigma friend, Ozzy Walker. And we just happened to be sitting down at Florida at the Florida Invitational Step Show, and my old TV show crew was filming an episode on the set. And so Joe Torre was clowning me, man. He was calling me Sandman. I think he was trying to say I looked like Savion Glover because I had my locks at the time. And you know, how Sandman would come out and tap dance when people were, you know, booed off or gonged off. He was calling me Sandman. So I saw him again after I was a bruh in Las Vegas, and I introduced myself to him, and one of my old friends, Linda Applin, she knew him from college, Lincoln University in St. Louis. And
Right.
I was like, man, you gonna do another sprung? You gonna do a sprung too? You know, or when you gonna work with a Rusty Kundeef again? I was asking him, I was on him, you know what I mean? And I told him, I would have asked him, yeah, man, Abyss speaks highly of you, but I was drunk at the time.
Hey, what's crazy, 6 Degrees of Separation, that's Tupac. Who also played in there? But Rusty Kundeef directed me in the first scripted sitcom for BET called The Somebodies. I had a recurring role on there. So I got a chance to get directed by Rusty, and that to me, Tales from the Hood, Fear of a Black Planet,
Right.
I've already been a fan. So, like, I've been blessed to be in like a lot of different circles, man. And so it's crazy how there's 6 degrees of separation when you got enough life, I'm almost got a half a century under me right now. So, I done got a chance to do some things. So, definitely not a flex right now, but, definitely it's something to be said about longevity though.
So you're 49.
Yep.
We're the same age. Yeah. And you mentioned Tupac. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Okay.
But I spent a lot of my life in Tampa, Florida. First I moved to Gainesville, Florida for a few years. My mother went to law school at University of Florida. I moved back. Then around the time of the Atlanta child murders, I moved to Tampa, Florida. So there was this very influential DJ named Kenny K. Waters. Kenny K. was in a group called the Four Horsemen. One of the main rappers in the Four Horsemen was a guy named Greg Jacobs. And he changed his name to Shock G. And he formed Digital Underground. He was bringing Tupac Shakur to Tampa, performing in parks back when Tupac was performing Panther Power, and Trapped, before he was I Get Around Tupac. He was fight the powers that be Tupac. I'm finna mess stuff up Tupac. You feel me?
Right.
So, oh man, Digital Underground had a really big influence on me.
Oh yeah.
Love DU, big time. My good friend Keith Ward, also known as A Boy Named Future, directed No Nose Job for Digital Underground.
Okay, word.
From the Sons of the P album.
I came to Atlanta. One of my first times coming to Atlanta, it was for that concert in the Omni, back when it was in the CNN building. We was in the basement. We had the whole concert like down in the basement, remember?
Oh yeah.
Man, talking about the time. I saw Heavy D, I saw Chill Rob G, Public Enemy, Heavy D and the Boys, Digital Underground, and it was one more big group. I can't think.
Latifah was there, right?
Yeah, Latifah was there. It was a big group though. It was another big group. Did I say Public Enemy?
Stetsasonic.
No, yeah, it might have been Stet. But hell, I know Stet and them now. I know Daddy O now, so it's kind of different, man. So Daddy O's a good dude.
He is a good dude. We talked about that.
Up at Grady High School for one summer.
Okay. You were performing. I was in a little plaza. Man, you be at the most artsy places ever. It was this like this Atlanta glass factory or something. And you and Rashida Abdullah, the flautist, and this white kid were performing. And I think you invited me out there because I was buying jewelry from Lisa, from your lady.
We were at the Raw. We were at Raw.
Daddy O was DJing in the courtyard that day.
Exactly. Over there on Auburn.
On Auburn. Yeah.
Hey, he was killing it too.
Yes, he was. Daddy O, Glenn is a good guy. I grew up on those guys. And I got to see Prince Paul DJ live. And Prince Paul's son was at Clark Atlanta at the same time. And they did an old school versus new school battle at the A3C festival. And I was like, Glenn. Oh, I called him the O-Dad because I ain't gonna call another grown man my daddy. I said, O-Dad, I grew up on you, the Grave Diggers, because Fruquan was in the Grave Diggers. Fruquan and Prince Paul was in the Grave Diggers. I was like, man, I've been loving Stet man, for years. For years.
Oh, yeah.
Self-destruction. And then, you know, I met KRS-One through Brother Server, because Brother Server actually helped co-write the book of hip hop.
Right.
So, and
I actually got a chance to freestyle with KRS through Server. So, you know, it was pretty cool, man. Real live. It was an experience, but I got a chance to rock with Chubb Rock, Houdini, Rakim, KRS, like all of my the
people you grew up listening to.
Right. I got a chance to rock with them. So, you know, and that's almost trying to like run them down before I turn 50, trying to make sure I get everybody, you know, a couple I didn't make it, but, you know, I done got a chance to, you know, chop it up with Mos Def. You know, I've had a a verse career, man. I got a chance to do a lot of things. I do everything I want to do because I don't think it's nothing I can't do.
That's dope. So we're gonna take a break, a pause for the cause.
All right.
When we come back, we're gonna talk about another time when I met you. We were doing poetry and then we vibed on some stuff, and also we're gonna talk about kind of the state of America right now for people of color.
All right.
When we return.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Diamond Cut.
So I stepped away from the game for a while. I got married, you know what I'm saying, had 2 kids, got divorced, all that good stuff, you know, the stuff that God gives you things to write about, you know what I mean?
I put some life on you.
I have been out there in a minute. Yeah, I have been out there in a minute. Like, man, I'm gonna go back on the scene. So I got word of this audition because my cousin works in LA with Dave Chappelle, and she sent me information about this audition. So I'm like, poetry versus hip hop. It's interesting. But I kind of felt some type of way. I'm like, I'm in both groups, really. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where to put myself. So you out there with your boys, with the Upright Lions, man. Tell me about the Upright Lions. Yo, they were dope. And I'm like, I didn't know you was in a group.
The thing about it is, I met the gentleman probably like in 2009. And when I met him, man, they had some fire. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like, damn, like I met him in Greensboro, but I was doing something with one of the Lions' brother. You know, we go back. Like, matter of fact, he used to rock out with Slick and Rose. You remember them? Slick and Rose?
Rose was
They used to be
Roosevelt?
with Dred. Slick and Rose. They were a singing group that worked out with Drez the Beatnik, but he used to beatbox for him. But
I know
like
Drez.
back, okay, so when it came to working with the Lions, man, you know, it was kind of like I think a couple years had passed by since I met them, and they reached out, you know, like you know, on some big brother, you know, if you can help us out, you know. We just let you know, hey, see what we doing. If you like what we doing, hey, let us know how you can help. So then, not only did I like how they were doing, I love their music, I love their message. So I got fully entrenched in, you know, what they were doing. So, you know, we were doing shows, getting around town, and a lot of times we just had to link up as brothers and just really just like push it. And we were like a four-headed monster. So we hit you with some hip hop, we hit you with some reggae, hit you with some acoustic, hit you with some opera, hit you with some harmony, hip hop, poetry, social consciousness, and we had that gully shit, you know, everything. So it wasn't nothing we couldn't do because we did everything we thought we could. So I made sure I surround my people with the same mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a circle. So it ain't no beginning or end. So when I got with the Upright Lions, you know, I ain't never part of a group. So that was my first time, like being inside of a group. So you know, I'm a active member, but inactively because I'm not in Vegas. But you know, they out in Vegas tearing stuff up. So we do it like on a bi-coastal level.
Kind of like a poetic version of the Defenders. Like,
yeah,
you're not officially in the Defenders, but if Magneto is trying to take over the universe, then Abyss is going. You gotta suit up.
Throw the guitar on me.
Speaking of superheroes, you had a little sticker that I got, like a promo sticker, and it said Abyss. And it was like, it looked like a comic book. Tell me about that. And like, is there a Abyss comic book out there floating around?
Not yet. Shout out to my man Marcus and Greg Burnham. They're my homies. He's been drawing my illustrations. He's like probably is one of three people that's probably got illustrations of me. I definitely would love to do the comic book, but that guy is busy. He has a project called the Tuskegee Heirs. So it's basically the young airmen, but you know, shown in like I mean, my man he got skills. So it's like looking at some Pixar stuff, but it's melanated. So it's dope as hell. So, you know, shout out to them cats, man. But I used to try to get the element of the animation because, you know, it gives you a sense of I would last forever type thing. You know what I'm saying? You know,
immortalized.
Yeah, immortalize it, you know, and it helps you sell it to the kids and the generations behind you.
No doubt. Speaking of the kids and the generation, no matter how many centuries, no matter how many years we go through, struggle is real.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about like what's going on right now. 2020.
Talk about this. We got a hijacked protest. That's what we got going on. And this is years and years of No Child Left Behind. So you create this naivete or this naiveness in our children because the enemy has been training your kids. So if you really cared about us, we'd know something about financial wealth. But in order to run a machine, you're going to need oil. What color is oil when it's overworked? Black. So we've been the oil. You know what I'm saying? You done broke our backs. I'm 50 years old. I don't know another story to tell you that I've survived, not thrived. It's a choice. So, but the thing about it is we're long gone. Are we we'll never go back the way we were. But unfortunately, we have people that are agitating true progress. We could use this as a teachable moment, but you got, you know, assholes involved in, like I was out the other day, case in point, I'm driving, I look over, I see a ton of bricks, like literally, no pun intended, a ton of fucking bricks.
Stacked neatly.
neatly, but loose.
Yeah.
But you would have needed a forklift or 2 to 4 gentlemen to put all that shit up there. And who's putting that up there? And it's not a construction site. And it's by Mad Glass. You know what I'm saying?
The power that be. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you trying to feed the bear, hoping it does what it do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but keep playing with the bear, your ass gonna get bit.
Right.
And you got a lot of people that's agitating us. Like I said, I get emotional about it because it's like, why don't they just go die? You don't like us so damn much, go somewhere else then. Then you talk about looting and all this, and you stole us. So we can sit, bitch, and moan and complain about it. But, you know, it's odd. Like, you know, we have all of these things we was doing a couple of weeks ago. Now, you know, people busting their gun at other black people. You know, it ain't even black on black crime. You just shoot where you live. You shoot where you at. So we can't say black on black crime, because when white folks kill it, it ain't white on white crime. Is it white on black crime? Is it white on black crime that these cops doing? That's some blue on black.
Right.
You know
Did you see the movie Black and Blue?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So
I was, yeah.
I mean, but you know, but like looking at that now, I just put out a couple of teasers, some visuals with my audio, like Gunpowder, but basically showing you some, you know, high resolution pictures of what we have going on right now, this embarkment of a 2020 civil war. Because it's gonna get heavy because we got a dumbass president. Just what it is. But all government local. All government's local. The thing about it is, what we realizing now in these times, we are the only ones that's gonna take care of us. Stop waiting for Superman. We are the Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Superman. We are the Superwomen. We got to get together. We got to stop killing each other. That shit ain't never been cool. So now that we got their attention, what's crazy is all this violence we have for each other. Now ain't nobody got no violence for somebody putting a damn knee on the neck. Y'all got all these pistols and shit on your damn internet, but in the real world, your ass ain't strapped.
Thank you.
So you know, later for that, you know, talking a good game shit, like serious.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think they call it capping now. So you got a lot of cats, the new ones, babies, capping and don't even know why. But it's been the lay of the land. And all of a sudden, you know, we got street code for 6ix9ine, but you ain't got none for somebody putting down bullets in your people. Like you said, I ain't inciting nothing. What I'm saying is, it don't take you too many times to keep getting hit on your head to find out who hitting you. And if you're killing your own kind, your ass whack.
Absolutely.
You just as bad as them.
Yeah. I've been so busy. A lot of members of my family have been affected by this COVID-19, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm dealing with that. So it's like, oh my God. I'm like, so I'm seeing people in the streets, you know, the people that are protesting, you know, non-violently, and they're out there protesting, truly protesting.
Right.
I was loving that. But, you know, you have your knuckleheads in there that are just.
It ain't even knuckleheads. These are paid agitators, bro. Come on. Like, here's the thing. You got bricks in multiple cities. The Boston police got caught. They got video of them putting out the bricks. Come on. If we're going to have the protest has been hijacked by these people, and these could be the Trumps, these could be the Tea Parties, this could be whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever it is, it's kind of like, man, like we can't get caught up in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold up. I can't
video
see
froze.
I can't see you. There you go.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, absolutely. It's something else, man. It's really something else. One thing I can say, artistically, got all type of inspiration.
Oh yeah. I got
Nick
some
Cannon.
stuff.
Props to Nick Cannon.
Oh man. Nick,
You know,
it's been about three brothers with the joint. You know,
LL. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. L went in,
Been an L fan for years, and
but like all of the old heads are keeping it tight. Like you know, the ones that you can respect in the game, like what's the dude, Redman. Have you seen Redman perform?
Reggie. Oh yeah, many times.
I'm talking about like he just performed. Probably I done seen him in the last year
Okay,
up at MJQ.
right,
Ridiculous. Probably like about a year and a half. Man, ridiculous, bro.
right. Love
Crazy with
Reggie.
yeah.
Saw him in Tampa in around the time I met you. I saw him in Tampa. He's on top of speakers throwing water out of bottles on us. I mean, nice. And you might have hit the blunt with him before the show.
Right.
He's that
That's
dude.
what's up.
He's so real. He's just real. And oh man, Keith Murray, right? Another member of the Def Squad.
Oh, yeah.
My cousin Homer, the one who I said Walter took his role as Dr. King.
Right.
He was at a show back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and Keith Murray had a bottle of champagne and just gave him a bottle of champagne and let him have the bottle. It was a bottle of Moet. I'm cultured.
Yeah.
Moet, right? And
Right.
man, from then on, like Homer's like, yo, that's my. I like Keith Murray, but I like Redman better. Man, Homer like Keith Murray better. Like he's like, that's my dude. You know, like the most beautifulest thing in this world.
Keith Murray might have been the homie. He was. He probably was my favorite back then, but I had to give it to Red for longevity and creativity.
Yeah,
He don't give a shit.
He
like
put Def Jam on his back.
Right.
You know,
and
when they were having.
I think that's what this thing is missing right now. We ain't really seen nobody put it on their back. You know, everybody is the brand now and shit. Like, you know, you could walk up on a mug. He could be a doctor. Your ass could be an artist. Y'all could have a relationship. He would tell me about his world. I would tell him about my world. Bam.
Right.
Nah, that ain't what we got now. Everybody a damn artist and you can't hear me because you telling me how good your ass is. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Hey, listen to this shit I got. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to hear no more drip rap right now and shit. If you ain't talking about how we bust some damn heads around here and get our damn dignity back and get some damn rights around here, shit. You know, we complain about how they protest, but then you don't complain about you not giving them a viable education or anything. I supposed to tear this bitch up if you don't give me what I supposed to get, just what is expected of you.
Right.
So if you're here to protect and serve and your ass is killing me with your knee on my back for 9 minutes, they need to send your memory missing.
Right.
Let's keep it a buck.
Q Time is our classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Diamond Cut.
You got okay, so the newest thing you're working on right now, anything you want to drop like right now?
I got stuff that I'm working on. I'm not gonna probably unveil the other stuff yet. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 minute, let me see. It got to be something in retrograde. Ain't none of this computer stuff working. So, you know. Oh, man, I can't believe it. I think I deleted some of it. But I lost a lot of sleep to dreams. It's two insomniacs. Red Eye alumni, we do it from the cardiac. Self-made, we adapted any habitat. I got this heat, but they ain't playing with my thermostat. They think I'm fly. They can see the shit I'm on. It's a dirty job. You can tell what I'm stepping on. I walk the walk. I talk the talk. My lessons learned. I'm angelic with the flow. Yes, the wings are earned. I'm in a cadre of madres and padres, and we spit calligraphy until it's imagery. I paint picture with the symphony, ebb, flow, flutes, timpani, orchestrated in the ether. They call it ministry. Tell Caesar no toleration for tyrants. The bombs ticking. We outnumber the hydrants. I'm Fahrenheit. I elevate the climate. Young lion with science. That's what you call guidance. Because it's hard not to yell when the barrel's your mouth. I'm actually dark skinned, but it's my aura showing out. I'm chasing the dream. My hustle predate your clout. I'm pro with my nouns. These verbs, they work it out. I was raised in the north, blew up down south, and I ran with 5 guys that would cook those cows. I'm talking mushroom cloud. You thinking click, click, pow. No, we mushrooms. No, we move crowds. That's all I got so far right now.
Dope.
Keep it G.
Dope.
But you feel what I'm saying.
I feel you. Okay, so you roll with all the right people, man. I mean, you in yourself, you are an anomaly on your own, but I'm saying
that's crazy. 6 degrees of separation. That's the name of my new show, The Anomalies.
That's dope. Hey,
kind of like an interview podcast, same thing. That's what's up. Dope.
There's 2 poets that I want to ask you about. One of them, I know you know this brother. I interviewed this brother on another medium, and I found out he's my cousin. He's actually my cousin. Shred the Verbal Tongue. Do you know him?
Shred, yeah, that's the homie.
That's my cousin, man. Nice.
Bruh,
dope.
Troy boy.
Yes.
North Carolina.
Right.
He part of the 5. That was my favorite group.
Of the 5. So Big Rec. I met Big Rec backstage at a Diamond D show. I had a Diamond D shirt on, and I used to DJ at WAMF. So I thought Big Rec was just like the tech guy. And then I saw him on a Rhyme versus Rhyme on Black Rhyme show or something. Some show here. And I interviewed him. Another poet I wanted to ask you about was Q Swan.
Q Swan, Mental Tattoo.
Where is he? I have not. It's been like
I haven't
seen
him in a minute. I know his government name is Nasana Beatty, but he might be out there.
He sent me back to the lab. That guy, oh man, dope. Yeah. Super dope.
He was definitely a rare being. Like he was definitely one of them creators that just push it to the damn limits.
And I think he was a thespian. Like he would be acting out like real life scenarios, and
right.
You might be in a slump. You might be like, God, I don't know what to write about, or I don't know. He really inspired me, as a writer. Just watching.
He was definitely he was great with the monologues, but he'll put something like he called it a mental tattoo, and then he starts spitting like man, it's just customary. It was always cool looking forward to seeing what he was gonna bring to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I liked about us. You never know who was coming with what. You just knew it was organic and original.
Right. Yep. Like 80s hip hop, man. Everybody was original. Everybody was dope, but everybody was different. Everybody was different.
You didn't have to be like nobody.
I miss that, man. I miss it.
Me too, bro. That's why I think that's my longevity. I don't care to sound like nobody. I got a unique voice in myself. I think if I just work on developing that, I'll be better off.
Right. All right. So you talked to Tasha Jones lately out of Indiana?
Tasha Jones, nah, we talked through text or what have you. But everything, I hit her up for Mother's Day. So yeah, she a beast and a half. She up in Boston right now, Springfield.
In Boston?
Yeah. Okay. She's doing I think she's teaching at a boarding school or something.
Okay.
Or she's a principal, something like that.
Yeah, I met her on a humbug. Like I'm DJing a play or something. And I think she macked me up, man. got my digits. You know what I mean? And then, I didn't even know she was a poet. And then I told her about the poetry versus hip hop, and I invited her to it, and she won the whole thing.
Hey, she a beast.
She's a beast.
And see, that's I remember when I first went to Indianapolis, I met Tasha Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been running with, this like circa '97. Back when Love Jones was doing the poetry, what 8 Mile did for rapping.
Yes. Yeah, right. Yep, right before I met you in '98.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Well, is there anything you like to add, man? I'm definitely
I would say what I'd like to add is make sure, just be careful out in these streets right now. You got other people that don't have interest, and don't, try to handle your problems without putting them folks in your business.
Word. All right, great. I'm definitely gonna have you back on, man, at some point. I'm planning a poetry show with just like several, numerous poets. You're the first poet to be on this show.
Word. Much love. Thanks for the platform, King.
Not a problem, man. Thanks for the inspiration. Thanks for the love. You gave me love when I met you. I didn't even know you was a poet. You just walked up to me, said my stuff was dope. I think that same night I seen you rock the stage and make the mic your own. Not a problem, man. Like you said, steel sharpens steel.
Yes, sir.
Adamantium sharpens vibranium.
Already. Right? You know it.
Word. All right. Anomaly? You said that's the name of your new stuff coming out?
The Anomalies, yeah. That's going to be like my podcast platform. So I'm going to be, talking about some real different, how can I say, some real gems out there, hidden gems that people don't know is out there. And it's going to be really just right for the climate that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay. Cool.
So y'all can find me on any social media, $ Team Abyss. Follow me on Cash App. I'm a hoot. But Team Abyss on any social media, you can find me. Okay. Godspeed, don't slow down, bro.
Word. All right. Well, everybody take care. Until the next time, 6 Degrees and Beyond, remember, no matter where you go, there you are.